Hey, what's going on? Luke here, and as of late I've been doing a lot of videos on possible releases of a new NRL video game or just a Rugby League video game, whether it be Rugby League Live 5, whether it be NRL 25, whether it be Rugby League 25, or even some other random name. I guess at this point we just wouldn't really care, we just want a new game. And I'm here to do a video talking about why the NRL need to step in and get involved in this and make sure there is a new game and make sure it comes out in 2025, because it's been a long time. And I've done videos in the last couple of weeks talking about how long it's been and why it probably won't happen and all this sort of stuff. But I'm going to talk about why it needs to happen and why it must happen. Now, I've wrote down a few notes. You see me look down at my phone. I'm just looking at some notes that I've made. The first one thing I wanted to talk about is just how in demand the game is. I mean, you've seen the videos that I've uploaded. If you're subscribed to my channel or you've seen a lot of my videos, people are still watching Rugby League Live 4, whether it's me, Odd1X, a few others out there, Insane even to a degree. There's a demand for the game. If you see any sort of rumours going around on Facebook pages, Instagram, all that sort of stuff, everyone gets excited, everyone gets really, real jazzed up. It's definitely in demand, and if they released it or they announced it tomorrow, can you imagine, the excitement? Honestly, I feel like we just get an applause from the whole nation. Whole of Australia, New Zealand, England, all the Pacific nations, all the Rugby League nations. I feel like everybody would just be, a round of applause. We finally got a new game coming. At this point, whoever takes over the license, they could dish up utter shit. Honestly, they could release one of the worst games possible, and you know what? There's a good chance it probably happens like that. But they have free reign at the moment because we're just so desperate for a game. It doesn't even need to be a top-notch game. We just want something. If it's a new game on some of the new systems, that in itself would just be an achievement, an accomplishment. We saw when Rugby League Legends came out, there was a little bit of hype for that one. And that wasn't even, publicised by anybody. It was just independence. It wasn't on TV. It wasn't licensed. There wasn't anything like that. Pretty much just me uploading a couple of videos. And a lot of people went and bought that one just because there's that excitement factor of a new Rugby League game. And it was like a cartoony arcade game. And I'd tell you, go and play it. It is a very fun game. It's on iOS. It's also on Xbox as well. I would recommend it. They don't have the official licensed players, but you know who it is. But just in terms of making the game, that's something I would encourage the developers and the publishers, is that you can pretty much dish out a lot. It would take a lot for the public to be like, nope, we don't want this, because it's been so long, 7 years, it's going to be coming on 8 years. By the time you would hope there would be a new game coming out. Essentially, it's just been so long that we'll take whatever we can get. That's literally what my point there is, that it's kind of a risk-free sort of situation for them, I would say. People are going to buy it regardless because it's a new Rugby League game. Doesn't really matter too much if it's good, if the features aren't there. Obviously, we do want some great features and all that sort of stuff. Done plenty of videos talking about that, but if it's not there, I think we're still going to buy it anyway. So, risk-free. Secondly, 2025, I feel like it's the perfect year for it to release. There's a few reasons for that, and I will get to that. I'll get to a few other points later on, but just the name in itself. So if Rugby League Live, if they want to continue that one, obviously we're up to Rugby League Live 4. They have a few options there. Obviously, Rugby League Live 5 is the clear one, but also if they want to change it to a yearly sort of thing, similar to what AFL does and a few of the other games, Rugby and AFL, like I said, AFL 23, AFL 24, all that sort of stuff. Even your Maddens, your NBAs, your EAFCs, FIFAs, whatever, they're all sort of going, the year route rather than FIFA 1, FIFA 2, FIFA 3, they're going EAFC 25. That's what they're sort of going through. And if they want to go that route, this is the perfect time to do it. Rugby League Live 5, you can still translate it being the same series, but go from Rugby League Live 4 into Rugby League Live 2025. I feel like it just flows well. It just has a nice flow to it, don't you think? Or whether it's NRL 25, whatever, you can still sort of have that. You can still sort of have it in order, I guess is what I'm getting at. So that's another reason why it's a good year to release this. Also, another reason is the fact that they're going to Vegas again. They've got the Super League involved. I think the women's are playing a game over there, the Australian side. The Jillaroos going to be playing over there. So they've got everyone involved. Also, it's the second year, so there's going to be a little bit more of a heads up for Americans. They know what they're getting into. There's going to be a little bit more hype, I would imagine, the second year in. There's going to be plenty of press. There always is when the NRL goes to America. Well, at least there was last year anyways. Didn't really translate too well. I thought Vegas, kind of a bit of a flop, to be honest with you. But if you're going to push for one thing in terms of trying to grow the game, you've got to go the video game as well. You've got to go the video game route, especially with the Super League being there as well, with the women being there as well. I think this is a perfect time to make a push for a video game. Just think of the amount of money that they've put into Vegas and the possibilities of growing the game in America, which I think is very doubtful. But in terms of growing it in, say like England, I feel like England is a perfect chance to actually grow the game. There's been a lot of talk about the NRL buying the Super League and how they would expand it and all that sort of stuff. And what's one of the biggest things that the English love to do? They love to play EAFC, FIFA, all over the years. Like some of the biggest content creators all started on FIFA. Whether it's like, look at all the Simon boys. Essentially all of them started off as FIFA guys. And now they've branched out to be some of the most popular people in the whole world, essentially. So it shows you how much of an influence that video games can have. And I think the NRL are clearly missing the boat. And, Vlandis and all that sort of stuff, sort of renowned to not be too big on the video game aspect. But they've said that they are working on something. So I'm hoping they can sort of announce that at Vegas. I mean, if you can just hit everything with this Vegas round 1, get over there. There's always already got to be publicity. You can maybe even do some promotions in terms of Vegas stadiums being in the game, Allegiance or whatever, wherever it's at. You can sort of run some promotion hand in hand. And I feel like if you're going to get any international traction, I feel like it's going to come from the video game. It's not going to come from a 1 week in Vegas and, a couple appearances on Fox Sports in America and a couple interviews with some big names or, a few sort of DLC list celebrities coming to the game. That's not going to work. That's not going to grow the game. I feel like their best chance is take the publicity, the little publicity they get, say, hey, here's our video game, and hopefully get enough people. Look at Speed. Look at how much influence Speed has had. He's out with the Warriors. He's getting so many eyes on the Warriors. The whole thing is like the Titans at the moment, a little bit of a joke with Speed, but they're getting their name out there. And that's what I feel like the NRL just needs to do. Get the name out there and then capitalize on it with the video game. Have the video game. Have it, hey, this is our game. If you want to get the brand new video game, go ahead and do it. Bam, they can go and play it. They can say this is a great game. They might say it's trash, but might say it's a great game, and you can get the Americans on there. But you can also get the Super League guys. You can grow them because I feel like England is such a good market that I feel like they don't really capitalize on in terms of rugby league. And even some of the other nations, like just Europe in general, I feel like that's where rugby league could capitalize on. Whether they do, I don't know, but I think a video game would help majorly. And also, I kind of touched on the women a little bit there, but you think in 2017 that there was a DLC where it had the Women's World Cup, you could download it, and I get a lot of comments on, how did you get the women's? We want the women's. So I just wanted to point out the fact that the game came out in 2017, and there's been such a surge in the rise of women's sport, and the NRLW is getting more and more popular each and every year. And I feel like there's a new market. There's a new market that wasn't there in 2017. You're going to have all the people who grew up playing your Rugby League 1, Rugby League 2, and the PS2 and all that sort of stuff. We're all going to buy that. I've pretty much had every single Rugby League game there is. I own all of them. But now you have a chance to have some of the girls come out and play the game. Something that probably wouldn't have happened in the past. Going to have some girls playing the Rugby League game. So it is more of a market. It's a lot more broad. You have all the Pacific Nations teams that got infinitely stronger since 2017 when the game came out. Even in terms of the Pacific Nations, one of my most popular videos was like Fiji. Fiji were playing. So it shows you that Pacific Nations, they do have an interest in that sort of stuff. And I feel like with a lot more of the NRL stars going and playing for those sides, you have some of those nations who maybe they wouldn't have bought a Rugby League Live 4, but maybe if Rugby League Live 5 comes out, we might be more interested in it. Essentially what I'm trying to say is there's more of a market, in my opinion. There's a lot more eyes on it, and I was talking about it being in demand, but not only is it in demand by us fans who have been wanting it since 2017, 2018, 2019, all these years, just because we want a new Rugby League game, but all these ones who potentially would just pick it up because, hey, my daughter might like it, or, oh, well, they really like the Tonga side or the Samoan side, or, maybe they can go and play as them and, have a good time. Basically, just in terms of sales, I feel like there's way more audience. There's so much more audience. And I think that is shown by the fact that the amount of views that Rugby League Live 4 gets to this day, it never has really gone down. I mean, a little bit for me because I'm so hot and cold with it, but you look at a guy like Odd1X, his views are as high as ever, and the game's been out for so long. And, it's not like we're getting new DLC or anything like that. It just shows you that there is an audience for this game. There is a market for this game. And in fact, I feel like this video will get pretty decent views as well. I feel like it just backs up everything. And end of the day, you don't want to get left behind by the other codes. And that is something that the NRL and just rugby league in general is so obsessed with, is that we got to be better than AFL. We got to be better than rugby union. Oh, rugby union, they got Suoli. Oh my God, oh, what a joke Union is. But Union have got video games. They're worldwide. They've got the All Blacks. The All Blacks are a bigger name than any NRL team, any international side that we have. End of the day, all these other ones. Cricket's another one. The NRL is getting left behind, and I've done this video to death over the last couple of years talking about how the NRL is left behind. And to be fair, that's not just in terms of the video game. There's so many aspects that they get left behind in, or are behind the times, and they jump on trends way too late. But get on the video game trend. I'm telling you, NRL, do it, get behind it. Stop being 10, 20 years behind things. Get on the front foot and actually start doing things before other codes. Look at AFL. AFL 100% could grow. All it takes is a guy like Speed, for example, jumping on and playing a game. Or even some of these other streamers. Like, some of these streamers have millions and millions of followers, and they live stream, and they make videos, and they get all these views. More than what the NRL could ever dream of. And I think the cricket games had that happen before. All it takes is just a couple of the right people to go on and play it and say, hey, this is pretty sick. And then all of a sudden you got a hit game, and your hit game translates to more views. If you want to get traction in America and overseas and all that sort of stuff, again, this is what you got to do. A new Rugby League video game, Rugby League Live 5, NRL 25, whatever. Just call it whatever you want. A brand new one. That's what we need. We need an NRL Vlandies. Pull your finger out, and all the stupid shit no one cares about. We don't care about majority of the things that happen in the NRL, let's be real. As much as the media wants to, sort of write stories, and I'll do videos on certain things and all that, we don't care. We really don't care. We just want to watch the product, and we want to have a good time and enjoy our team having success. And obviously, it comes and goes, success, unless you're the Panthers, maybe the Storm to a degree. But a video game is like, you can dare to dream on a video game as well. You can rebuild, you can do all these sort of things that you're not going to see in real life as well. So it just gives them a little bit of hope as well. So, your team's sucking in real life, but I can jump on the game and I can have a good time and I can win. Maybe I can win a comp with the Tigers. Hey, I did that. I did that in Rugby League Live 3, and they're not anywhere near closer in 2025. No, but for real though, it's just like, it baffles me that we're not seeing any more progress, and all we're getting is emails sort of saying like, oh, we're working on something, and it's like, all right, you've been working on something for ages. Work a little bit quicker. Get us a new game. We need it. Well, that's the end of this video. If you happen to enjoy it, make sure you leave a like, subscribe. You know the drill at this point. Everybody YouTuber says it. Just go ahead and do it. It'd really help me out. Also, why not go ahead and check out some of these other videos that are on the screen right now.